and I'll let you know when we make the transition. Oh, you know what? If some people hear that we're on a little late, my internet totally crashed. It was not coming through at all. And usually it's like a little spotty. Right now it says I have an excellent connection. So that's like makes me feel very satisfied with my tech at this point. And we're live. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Alexa Weitzman. I use she, her pronouns. This is the January 2022 General Queens Community Board 6 meeting. And I'm glad that you joined us. So just a little orientation. If you see yourself on the screen, number one, congratulations for getting through the WebEx situation. And number two, you are either a board member or you're someone that has signed up to speak at the meeting. If you're here through WebEx as an attendee, that means that you are observing the meeting as if back in the day when we were in person, you were in the room, you can watch but not participate. We're also live streaming this on YouTube, and the meeting is archived there to watch or to rewatch if you're into that kind of thing anytime you want. So we don't have such a busy agenda tonight, which number one, it's like a good opportunity to just breathe because we've had a lot of really packed meetings over these past few months. So it feels spacious, and that's really nice. We're hoping that our new council member Schulman, will be joining us.
I'm here.
You're here?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Welcome, Councilmember Schulman. So glad that you again made it past the WebEx gate. I wish that it was like an open gate to all, but sometimes it's slightly difficult. But so I'll just say that I'm really excited to introduce our new council member representing the full of this district with a little bit more of other districts, but this is Council Member Lynn Schulman. She's here to speak to us tonight, and you know, she's, I guess, what, 12 minutes into, or 12 days into her administration, and already her communication and her proactive reach out has just been amazing. So I want to thank her at the offset. Thank you for all the work you've already done in this brief time, and I really look forward to what is to come in your term. So with that, Councilmember Schulman, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to everyone. I want to thank you, Alexa. Is this your last meeting, I believe?
This is my last meeting as chair.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for the great work that you have done. I want to say that. Thank you. It feels like you said 12 minutes, you said 12 days, but it feels like 12 minutes in some ways, and it feels like a longer time. We hit the ground running. First, I want to introduce my staff that are on this call. Fasia Klaas, who's my chief of staff, and Kevin McAleer, who is going to be assigned to the board. So welcome him, and he's amazing. And also, we hit the ground running. We visited schools the first day of school to see what's going on there. We had snow. We had a snowstorm. We made sure that everyone was taken care of. We called all of the community organizations. We called the community boards. We called all the schools. We were out. We made sure that ACE did the curb cuts and all of that before the snow froze over because it was pretty cold. And we were in touch with city government and sanitation and all of that. So that was great. We got the borough president and I and others got a test site up at by McDonald Park. It's now in the Forest Hills Jewish Center for COVID. It's a PCR testing. We're trying to get where I'm working. I and my staff are working with the city's Department of Health and also Health and Hospitals to get more test sites out and about throughout the district. So we're doing that. I had a meeting today with, oh, and by the way, when we went to the schools, I want to thank Heather, came with me to one of the schools that we did. So thank you, Heather. Today there was a private meeting with, although I was told I can talk about it, with the mayor and a number of elected officials, with David Banks and with the health commissioner about the school situation. It's, not to get into too much detail here, but the mayor was, and his staff and the commissioners and the chancellor were very open to what we had to say. There was a lot of talk about the remote option. The administration is looking into that. So there were a number of things that as soon as we get some answers back from them, I will share with everybody, but it was very collaborative and they were very open to a lot of the suggestions we made. And Heather, I did ask you, put something up on Twitter about the high schools. I did ask that and somebody's going to get back to me about that. And the transcripts. And I just want to tell folks that my staff is monitoring a lot of things, but if you could just please communicate with us directly at, for now, District 29 at council.nyc.gov, or call the district office at 718-544-8800. Not all the time will we see stuff that's up on social media. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to govern through social media, but occasionally when we do see stuff, we do act on it. But please contact us directly and we're more than happy to help out. The council in general is working remotely right now. But we are monitoring everything. And so we will be there to assist folks and we're going to be very proactive. I also want to mention that last week was the first stated meeting of the city council for the year. And it's terrific to be part of a body of a city council that's majority women for the first time ever. That's amazing and it's exciting. And women from very diverse communities and so on. And also we elected the first Black female speaker of the city council, who's also a Queens person and in the adjoining district, Adrienne Adams, who's in the 28th council district. And so it's just been amazing. And we're looking forward to doing more things. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll know about our committee assignments and I'll share that with the board as well. And I'm very excited about working with everyone. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Schulman. And I know that you're very busy and you do have other commitments tonight, but are you willing to take a few questions from the board if there are any?
Yes.
Okay, great. Does anyone have any questions for Councilmember Schulman?
I have a question.
Yes, is that Howie?
Yes.
Go ahead, Howie.
I want to let you know I helped a senior citizen by the Tower Diner that fell down on Saturday. I helped them. I called the ambulance for them. I wait with them, and I start cleaning the snow. That's what you're supposed to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome very much. And you're a very good person to work with.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Howie.
Mhm.
Anyone else have any questions for Councilmember Schulman?
I think I will.
Not at this time.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I just want, first of all, congratulations, and it's really great to see you. I was just wondering in terms of the committee assignments, what ones are you basically going for, and what chances do you think of making it? And, as that would kind of set some of your priorities.
There's a lot going on with that right now, and so I don't want to say anything. What I will tell you separate from that is that, and as soon as I know, I will share that with folks. What I will tell you is separate from that. One of my priorities, as I think a lot of people know, is healthcare in this district, and particularly hospital capacity. And one of the things actually thank you, John, you prompted me to remember something. I met with the governor along with some of the incoming women in the Queens delegation a couple of months ago. And I mentioned to her, I think folks know, I've been very public about the fact that I battled breast cancer during the campaign. I'm cancer free now. I did an op-ed on it. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because I met a lot of patients who told me that during the height of COVID that breast cancer in some instances was considered elective surgery. And I brought that up to the governor. And she specifically made sure that in the executive order that she put out in the beginning of the year about hospitals that had to cut down on elective surgeries, that anybody that had a cancer diagnosis was not to be included as a part of the elective surgery. So I'm very happy about that. So I'm hoping to work on those and other health concerns, not only just for our district, but throughout the city.
Great. Thanks for the question. Latrice, do you have a question?
Yes. Good evening, Councilwoman. Now that I've thought about it, the housing moratorium is set to expire on Saturday. And I was wondering, assuming that Governor Hochul does not sign another extension, does the city council have any plans to address what is sure to be an onslaught of like housing issues, not just within the district that you represent, but just citywide?
I believe that they will. I do know that Hochul has asked the federal government for money to help with rental assistance so that they can continue the program. I think the issue is that the money, that there's no funding right now in it. So that's being worked on. And I think that in the next several days, and we'll talk to the speaker, and we'll figure that out. And whoever is head of the housing committee for the council, there is a committee for housing that will have those conversations.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, great. Well, with that,
I'm gonna hang out for a little bit, and then I'll leave. But I will hang out for a bit.
that's great. Well, we're really happy that you stopped by. Congratulations, welcome. We look forward to continued collaboration moving forward. And yeah, you know where we are, and we know where you are. So that's great. Congratulations again, and thanks for stopping by, Councilmember Schulman. So generally we have a public comment period, but the one person that had signed up for the meeting to speak tonight will no longer be able to join us. So we can go right to the next order, which is minutes. And everyone received the minutes and hopefully had a chance to review them. So can you please unmute yourselves now, and can I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
I so move.
I
Second.
second.
I have a question.
Okay, who was that? Kavish?
It's Kavish, yes. I was not present because of technical difficulties, and I was in a different state. I'm not sure. I think it marked me as absent, and I notified you, but I wasn't sure like how that would work if because I tried, but I wasn't able to connect. So
You were not in the meeting, correct?
I was able to dial in for a bit, but then I just got disconnected, and so it was just very technical with the
Yeah.
the time.
So yeah, unfortunately that is an absence, and
Okay.
with regret, because I know that WebEx has been very difficult for people to use, and I think hopefully we're over that hump, and hopefully moving forward it will be easier. People, board members are allowed up to 3 unexcused absences, so you're generally always present. So we'll just have to keep that as an absence for now, and if you continue to have issues with WebEx, we can work with you to make sure that doesn't happen again.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments about the minutes before we take a vote? I think so John was made a motion, and who seconded?
I did.
Howie. Okay, so everyone can unmute themselves now, and all those in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
Okay.
Well, I hear no nays.
Aye.
What was that? Ralph, did you say something?
I said I hear no nays. I hear only ayes. Yes.
Well, I haven't called the nays yet, so that's what I'm going to do now.
Oh, I
Are there
see.
any nays? Are there any nays? No nays. So you were right. You're prophetic. You knew what was coming. So there are minutes passed. Okay. So up next is my chair report, and I do it with slightly moist eyes as my last chair report, but also with excitement and of course with like honor. So I wanted to, first of all, I think there's a number of people that are unmuted. I hear a lot of background. So please take a moment and unmute yourself. No, sorry, mute yourself. Just take a moment and make sure that there's a line through your microphone. Thank you. So, obviously after my report, then we have the district manager's report, and then we're going to be doing elections. So I want to take this moment to just thank the outgoing executive committee for all the work that they've done for the board and just all the work that they've done in supporting me. So very specifically, first Vice Chair Gail Gordon, who has been a board member for 30 plus years. Many of those years served in the role of first vice chair of this community board, has seen the board through many seasons of its work. And I'm really grateful that Gail was such a close partner to me as I took the role of chair and worked so well, and just was so open to sharing her expertise and being really a great counsel for me. So thank you to Gail Gordon. And I don't see Gail right now. I know she was having some issues with her. Oh no, she is there. She is there. She was just, okay. So Gail, you're there with the disco in the background. I love it. So thank you, Gail. And so second vice chair, Peter Beadle, who I also haven't seen tonight, but I only have like half the board on. I have to scroll through. So Peter is usually here, but you're here, great. So second vice chair, Peter Beadle, who always answers the phone when I call and who's always willing to get into the nitty gritty of working through issues with me. So thank you, Peter. For vice chair secretary, Mark Laster, who's, as we all know, his enthusiasm and energy is unparalleled and he inspires me daily, who I learned so much from, not only about the issues that he brings to the board and educates us on, but just about life and other things. So thank you, Mark Laster. To Vice Chair of Finance, Heather Dimitriadis, who revised, re-envisioned, and like successfully took the budget priority process to just a whole new level. Spent so much time with spreadsheets and data, and all of that just served the community and the board by updating our budget priorities for really the first true audit and update in years. So thank you, Heather. To Vice Chair Land Use Prameet Kumar, who held all of the land use and ULURP projects, runs a spectacular committee meeting with amazingly beautiful slideshow decks and has been an even calming presence for me. So thank you, Prameet. And to Vice Chair Scoping, David Schneier, who really is a jack of all trades and who I've turned to in times of just needing a measured, like easy, reasoned perspective that I've always appreciated as just being a voice of reason. So thank you, David Schneier. And to all the committee chairs and board members, thank you so much. In particular, I just want to give a special shout out to John Derzowski for holding the bylaws revision process, which again, just helped set us up as a board moving forward into the next phase. Frank, thanks so much for being also my partner in all things, also picking up the phone whenever I call, his experienced leadership and always keeping the district's needs paramount. And to Maria, Barbara, and Christine, the real engine of the community board, thank you for all the day-to-day work that you all do, for showing up, for answering phones, for listening to community members, and for helping me on the daily. So thank you, all of you. And so that's like that part. And I did go through a lot of names, but even if I didn't name you, I'm so grateful that we got to work together. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be a board member, and I'm looking forward to really taking on that role in a new way. So I hope to kind of saddle up next to you and get to work into new issues. Before we go on to Frank in the next part of the meeting, I just want to give a quick COVID update, because I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of time on the New York City website looking through all the data, and something really stark kind of looked back at me the other day when I was looking at the data. So Community Board 6 is 11375 and 11374. 11375, Forest Hills, 1 of every 5 people in this neighborhood was diagnosed with COVID. 1 of every 214 people in 11375 passed away from COVID. In 11374, 1 of every 3 people were diagnosed, and 1 of every 222 people passed away. And I mean, I've looked at that number over the now years, but we've been through it here. And I want everyone to try to keep the perspective of the fact that everyone that we pass on the street, in the elevators that we share, has been through this together. So I hope that we can, as it seems like the pandemic was going to be behind us, it seems like now we're maybe at, maybe we're plateauing for this wave, but we just have to make sure that we're supporting each other through this, because we've all been through it. I don't want to end on that note, I guess, but that was the last thing I wrote. I don't know, maybe I was supposed to go back to my notes and add a happy moment, but I guess the happy moment is you're all great, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done. And my happy moment is passing it on to Frank, District Manager Frank. So off to you, Frank.
Thank you, Alexa.
Muted. Are you there?
I cannot hear Frank.
Weird.
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Yep, we're
I
good.
can hear you now.
Great. Thanks, Liz. So, to my partner in crime, no, I won't say that. To my partner, really, Alexa, who came in at a time, who in the world knew that we were going into a pandemic? And you wrote it through for, how many constituents do we have? Close to 150,000 in this area. And you did a great job. I'm happy that we were able to get through the ups and downs together. And I'm proud to say that I worked with you, and I'll recommend you anytime when you need a reference. Happy New Year, everybody. Lynn, Lynn, you're still here? Yeah, I see you. For those of you who don't know it, Lynn Schulman, Councilmember Lynn Schulman now, was a Community Board 6 member for many, many years. I'm so proud that she came from this board. She also sat on the 112 Precinct Council with Heidi for many, many years, really dug into the community. So when you talk to her, I know I'm building her up a little bit, she knows the grassroots of this community. So use her, and we will use you, Lynn, and your staff, and we appreciate you jumping in already. A couple of side note little things. You all know about the horrific fire in the Bronx, and I've been on the phone with FDNY reminding us in our district we have so many apartment buildings, co-ops, condos. Please, it's all about space heaters. Please be careful. I'm not going to give you a commercial. You're all smart people. The other very important thing that's happening right now, there is a major blood shortage, particularly throughout the city and the country, but in our area. If you can give blood, please do so. What I've been doing lately, just so you know, I've been partnering like Lynn has, and not exactly on her level, but I've met the new mayor. The other day, I had a really deep conversation with the new CAU Community Assistance Unit for the mayor's office, the new commissioner, Fred. Actually, I worked with him many years ago when I was the council myself. We are, all the DMs are meeting the new police commissioner, I think, in next, I know it soon, I don't have it in front of me. The new administration is certainly reaching out to us. I appreciate that, Lynn. You starting off really with the ball, you're hitting the ball a home run already. Particularly with the snowstorm last week. People, we had a very good rating from PSNY and sanitation. Few people, I think one or two complained that the crosswalks weren't, but you know what? We have to let them clean the streets first. We have to let them do all that good stuff, bike lanes, streets, and then and only then, after the snow stops, they will bring in the day laborers to start shuffling the crosswalks. It is a priority. We have lots of them. We didn't forget anybody, but the snow has to stop, okay? And even if it does stop, they need time to regroup somewhat. I also had a meeting. I had my January cabinet meeting with all the district managers and our president the other day. And the biggest issue and the only issue that was discussed was outdoor dining. Who's heated, who's not heated, and what's the next step for those people, those restaurants who are out in the street. It's a DOB issue, huge, believe it or not, besides a DOT issue. So they're going to be working on that. So I'll fill you in as that goes along. My last commercial. Think of the summer for a second. If you know any kid or anybody looking for a lifeguard job. And last but not least, and I'm sure Borough Hall and Perito will talk about it, community board applications are online. It couldn't be any easier. So do yourself a favor, if you know anybody who will have a couple of openings this year, bring them in, reel them in. And thank you, everybody. We're kicking off the year with a great start with our new council member, and we'll see where we go. Challenging all of you all the time. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Frank. And Frank, you reminded me, I was a little nostalgic when you mentioned the community board applications, because remember when we used to meet in person and we used to bring in a notary
Yeah.
to notarize the paper applications? It's like, was that like the 80s or was that only 2.5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all online. It's really easy. And for sure, everyone should be telling their friends to apply.
Hey,
And
can I jump in, Alexa? You forgot to tell everybody the somewhat good news.
That's what I was gonna do too.
It.
That should have been my good news that I ended with. So we all know that we're meeting virtually now because there was an extension of the suspension of the open meetings law after we really advocated hard for that in, I guess it was August, which also feels like the 80s. It was so long ago. But so it was extended. It was supposed to be expire on the 15th of this month in just 3 days. But just today, they extended it again. We don't really have any more details about what that means. But what it means is that next week's transportation committee meeting, for example, can be virtual. And we all agree that this is not the time to go back to being in person. So we're really grateful for all the advocacy that our state elected officials and, of course, ultimately our governor has done to keep us safe and keep our communities safe. So as soon as there is more information, we will definitely let you know. The borough president has been advocating hard for that. So we're grateful for his support for that. So that said, we're moving along to the elections. And thank you everyone that participated
Alexa?
in the training. Yeah. Oh, you want to do attendance?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes,
I'm
good
just
idea.
gonna call the people that I didn't see. If you are here, just let me know because we need to know how many votes we're counting for the elections. So Ethan Felder, Emmanuel Kalendarov, Jack Medina, Robert Tamiev,
I'm here.
okay, and Daniel Yakubov.
For Mr. Medina, last time he had an issue calling in on the phone. Are we sure he's not on the phone list? And
So
star
no
6
one
to
was,
unmute?
we did not, I specifically, we can't take, people can't vote with on a phone call, but he did clarify today, so I thought we were in good shape, but it could be, again, a WebEx issue, which is why we had 2 trainings and offered one-on-one assistance for people that did need that. So at this point, I cannot offer dispensations for people that are not able. I'm not saying that that's Jack, but I'm just saying we can't do that. So this is how we are going to do it. So right now, we're opening up. We're going to do elections for the CB6 Executive Committee. We had the nominations at the meeting in December. As per the new bylaws, nominations were made in December. Nominations were closed at this meeting. We're doing elections. Only 2 of the positions are contested with 2 nominees each. So those are the only positions that we're going to be voting by ballot for. The other positions I'll go through and we'll be casting, well, the secretary, who is Mark Laster, will be casting 1 vote for those positions, and since they're uncontested, that's how we're doing it. So the chair position and the secretary of administration are the 2 that have the ballot. So first, what we're going to do actually is we're going to just do the ceremonial single vote for the other positions. So for the position of, you know what, I don't even have my list in front of me. For the position of first vice chair, the nominee is Peter Beadle. Mark Laster.
I cast 1 vote for Peter Beadle to be our first vice chair.
Okay, great. Thank you. Here it is. Next up, for the position of second vice chair, Keith Engel is the nominee. So Mark.
I cast 1 vote for Keith Engel to be the second vice chair of the community board.
Okay, great. For the position of third vice chair, Mark Laster is the nominee. Mark Laster.
I cast 1 vote for myself to be the third vice chair.
Okay, great. And for Secretary of Finance, Kevin Lee was the nomination, is the nominee.
I cast 1 vote for Kevin Lai to be the financial secretary of the community board.
Okay, great. And for the position of parliamentarian, John Derezowski is the nominee.
I cast 1 vote to make John Derezowski the parliamentarian of community board 6.
Okay. Great, congratulations, everyone. Yay! Thank you so much for stepping up. I'm really excited about all of you being in these new leadership positions. And now for the next part. So we are going to, Christine is going to drop a link in the chat, which you're going to click on, and it is going to take you to a ballot, which you will put your name and your email address, and Christine has a question, or like a comment. Yeah. And then you're going to click on it and you're going to vote and submit. And then she will do the tally on her end for those 2 positions. But before we do that, we are going to hear from the nominees. Is that what you were going to say, Christine? No, but what did you want to say then?
I just wanted to remind everybody that we're voting on both positions in 1 link and 1 ballot. So when you click on the link and you put in your name, you're going to vote for both positions on the same one. So don't submit it until you voted for each position. So you're casting 2 votes and then clicking submit. Thank you.
Great. And I'm just getting the order of how we are doing this. Okay, so we are going to hear from the nominees. First, the nominees for chair, 2 minutes each, up to 2 minutes each. You don't have to fill the 2 minutes. So first, we're going to be hearing from Heather Demetriadis, then we're going to be hearing from Jean Silva, then we're going to be hearing from the Secretary of Administration nominees. So first, we'll be hearing from Sheridan and then Tanya. So I guess Mark, do you mind timing?
I'll
2
time.
minutes, please. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
great.
I'll time.
And so Heather, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexa. Rego Park has been my home for over 22 years, and it was made possible by a rezoning voted on by this board in 1996 from a C81 to an R7D. My path of serving this community began at PS 174 on the school leadership team, continuing in that same role at Russell Sage, and then also serving in that role out of the district at Landmark High School and Frank Sinatra School of the Arts. Also during that time, I served this community through 3 cycles of participatory budgeting starting in 2016 with our former councilwoman's office. And I've had the privilege of serving on the citywide committee for participatory budgeting to the city council, and am presently a part of the participatory budget advisory group to the Civic Engagement Commission. My time on this board has found me chairing and now co-chairing the Education, Youth, and Library Committee, and for the past year as the Vice Chair of Finance, helping us navigate our budget priority setting process. When I joined the school leadership team at PS 174, it was clear that you are not here, you weren't there for your student, you were there for all students. Should I have the privilege of being your chair, I will apply that same principle, being a chair for the entire community, not just my own block. And it
30
goes
seconds,
without
Heather.
saying that it would be a pleasure to work with the new administration and council leadership to continue making our district a model for all community boards. Thank you all so much for your consideration.
Thank you, Heather. Jean, I don't see you, but I did see you before. There you are. Jean, the floor is yours for 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jean Silver, and I've been on the board since 2012. I've been your Parks Chair representative now for the past 4 years, but I've lived in this community for over 46 years. I've also had the honor of becoming the president of Flushing Meadow Corona Park Conservancy 6 years ago. And through that actions with the Conservancy, I really learned a lot about how to deal with city agencies, the borough president's office, and how to deal with the community at large, and especially when it comes to parks. The reason I'm running for a chair for Community Board 6, I believe I have the experience, the knowledge, and the background to bring this board back to its full potential, what it was 2.5, almost 3 years ago. Now we're going to be the same. We're going to be a little bit different. The future for us all right now is very different, and going in the future, it's even going to be more different. With all the women that we have now representing us in the city council, and all the groups that we have out there is magnificent. I have never been so impressed with the amount of participation our community has been involved over the past 2 years.
30 seconds, Jean.
Okay. Let me see. Building, I'd like to change some of the ideas that have been done in community boards. John done an excellent job on revamping the bylaws, but I want to acknowledge Alexa, the job she has done as the chair and the changes she has made, that I'm looking forward to continuing the changes and upgrading of.
Okay, Jean, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jean. Next up, we have, what is the order that we have here? Sorry, Sheridan and then Tanya. This is for the position of Secretary of Administration. So Sheridan, the floor is yours for 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Hey,
please.
good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if you can see me because my phone is acting weird. But my name is Sheridan Chu. I've been, if you count the years I've been in law school, I've been in Queens for 15 years. I live in Forest Hills with my family, my wife, my son, and we will soon be a family with 2 kids. My wife is waiting. We are awaiting our second child. Professionally, I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for about 11 years now. I work in criminal court. When on my free time, I do believe in public service, so I do serve as a secretary of the Chinese American Planning Council Home Attendant Program, and along with that, I serve on their compliance committee. I just would like to. I've been a community board member for about 6 years now, and I was always in the background, and now I feel comfortable enough. I know everyone on the board. I know everyone's heart is a good place, and I just want to try my shot as a secretary of administration. Just to help out, to see what I can do, to give my opinion. I'd like to believe that I'm usually even keeled, and I'd like to hear everybody's opinions, and it's kind of part of my job as being a lawyer, is to just hear everybody out and kind of mediate and arbitrate what's going on, and hopefully we all have a good resolution to help the community. Aside from that, a fun fact is I love cryptocurrency. I invest in cryptocurrency and DeFi coins. So if anybody wants to talk about that, I'm down with that too. So I'd be honored
30 seconds, Sheridan.
Sure, I'd be honored. So in closing, I'd be honored if I could have your vote and serve as Secretary of Administration. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sheridan. And up next, Tanya, the floor is yours for 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Alexa. My name is Tanya Paget. Can everybody hear me? Great. I've lived in Forest Hill for 15 years, and I am running for secretary, as you know, and I was hoping to, in addition to making sure that the minutes and other positions, other things that we're supposed to do as secretary to expand that role and add a communications piece to it. The board has done magnificent work, and people need to know it. By profession, I'm a communication specialist. I worked at Newsday for many, many years, as well as other big media outlets. That's my skill set. I'm good with social media, and I'm a big believer, like, if a tree falls in a forest and nobody hears it, has it even fallen? And I feel that way about Community Board 6. People need to know what we're doing. And I would love to bring that skill set so that everybody knows and create content. So that's it. I love civic engagement. I belong to a lot of boards. My latest role was I was a communications director for Council Member Barry Grodenchik, whose district is very similar to ours. And so I know about how to maneuver through the city, through city bureaucracy. So I'm bringing that skill set as well. Thank you, Mark. And I would be happy to be your secretary. And thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you, Tanya. So now Christine will drop the link in the chat. It's exciting to have a chat for us. We never have a chat, so this one time. Oh,
I just
there's
have
one thing first.
I have one more thing to say. Try not to submit it more than once, because it's just going to make it complicated for me to count the votes. If I don't get a vote from you, I will let you know. So if you're not sure, don't submit it a second time. Thank you.
Right. And thank you, Christine, for really holding the technical nature of this remote voting and remote everything world. So thank you, Christine.
The link should be in the chat now.
The link is live. The link is live. Click over.
Okay, I'm clicking and it's not opening.
You have to click on like accept. Sometimes the link won't like it asks you if it's a trusted source, and you just have to click OK. And
Excuse me, Christine, I'm doing chat, but what all I'm getting is enter chat message here, and then to everyone. Maybe
so
I think I see it.
above that. So
What?
yeah, it's
Chat?
above that. Do you see it? Do you see the link that's above that in the actual chat? Not where you enter something in the chat, but where something comes up in the chat.
To
Don, it's a
everyone?
blue
Is it to
link.
everyone?
Yeah, it's a blue link, and at the end of the link, it says view form. That's the link you want to
Hold on,
click on.
hold on for a second. I gotta.
You might have to click
At the
where
end
it
of the
says
link, it
chat.
says view form.
Chat view form. I don't.
No, at the end of the link, the I'm trying to give
You
you a
hadn't gotten
little
to
bit
the
of
link
a
yet.
landmark. The link that's
Sorry.
in the chat, at the end of it, it will have the words view form.
I don't see it.
Right,
I
John. What I was able to do is I copied the link and I put it in the browser, and it popped up that way. So maybe, John, if you want to try to copy the link and put in
Okay,
your.
wait.
I don't know how I can copy.
Sorry, just one thing that, so I see it, there's a comment in the chat, and I guess the chat is accessible by anyone that's within, yeah, I see
Chink it
that.
into the public or what?
Oh, it went public. Oh, that's not good.
Okay, guys, okay, it's okay. We're only gonna chat, like, count the votes that are from the board members, but I realize that the chat goes to everyone. So thank you for flagging that for us.
Into the chat
TPO.
message here, but I still don't see it.
The public cannot chat. So John, do you see? Okay, so on your side of your screen, it says participants. Do you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now go down from that. Do you see something that says chat?
No, I see chat. I see chat, and I'm pressing chat. But what I'm getting is just.
Is there a little carrot that's like, is there a carrot that's pointing to participants or down?
Well, for participants, want me to do participants? Okay. No, I've done participants,
No,
but now
chat
it's
with
chat.
everyone.
What I'm saying is there a little carrot to the left of the word chat? Is there a little
Oh,
carrot?
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, something. Yeah, but I'm pressing it. All right. Yeah, now I get that, but it says I don't see the blue link though.
Does it say Google Docs? Scroll up, scroll up. You need to
Wait,
scroll
I'll
down.
scroll.
It's
Oh wait, I
scroll
think I
down.
may see it now. Hold on.
Okay, good. You see it.
Now, yeah. Now continue. This is external site. Continue.
yeah. Okay, so I'm just great.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to, in the meantime, when the votes are calculated, I want to let everyone know that there was a practice ballot that had nothing to do with the community board, but I want to share the results because a lot of you voted. And if you didn't vote, then that's too bad. Very important questions. The first one was, do you prefer breakfast for dinner or do you prefer dinner for breakfast? I'm really sad to say that breakfast for dinner won. There were only 3 people, myself included, that voted for dinner for breakfast. And I want to acknowledge the dissenters, which were me, Pramit, and Anicia. So we all need to go out and eat a dinner for breakfast together. The second question was, what I thought was honestly like a pretty easy question. But it was closer than I wanted it to be. It was, which is your favorite New York City baseball team? The New York City Mets was 64.7, and the Yankees had 35.3.
Yay,
That's
Mets!
higher than I would like. I am a Mets fan,
Let's go
and if it's not
Yankees.
this area, Peter Beadle, I don't like you walking around with your Yankees cap. I don't like it. Bring it back to the Bronx. So,
Alexis, this is Jane. Alexis, I'm having difficulty getting in. I clicked on the chat. Nothing is coming up.
Finally came.
Okay. Where are you in the process?
Yeah. Inviting.
Are you on a phone or a computer?
No, on a computer. When I clicked on the chat, a little thing came up.
Did you go to the training, Jean? Did you go to the training and do this yet or no?
I was at the training with you. Yeah.
Okay, so then did it come up? Like you have to do the same thing where you click on the chat should open, you click on the link.
Yeah, and click. I don't have the link.
Scroll up and down. I think people are forgetting to scroll up and down. If you scroll down, you'll see it from Christine Nolan at 7:43 p.m.
It was just posted again by Pramit.
Where am I scrolling?
Yeah, okay, so you have to find the chat. Did you find the chat?
No, I didn't get any link. That's the problem.
Well, then you
The link
haven't
is
found
in
the
the
chat.
chat.
It's in there a
The
number
link
of
is in the
times.
chat, Jean.
Yes, I
Okay,
know.
I'm
I
gonna,
clicked on chat.
Jean, I'm gonna send it to you privately as a message. Hopefully that'll pop up for you. Did that work?
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Okay. Got
Okay,
it. I'm clicking
great.
on it.
Okay, so I've also prepared some jokes to lighten the mood as we wait. I asked my son for some jokes. Oh, Christine might call that off.
No, I won't interrupt your joke session. I'm only waiting for votes from Jean and Raphael Nektalov.
Okay.
I didn't get votes from those two people. Everyone else did
Jean
very good.
gets to vote. Raphael, we're waiting for your vote. Is he still on? Let's see.
Hi.
Okay, Raphael.
Also, I want to say thank you very much to Christine. She teach me. I was so nervous. Thank you. And it was problem between Zoom and the system. It was problem to me. And I'm very happy to see everybody. And I want to say thank you very much to our new councilwoman, because I'm every week seeing what she
I'm sorry, Raphael, I'm going to interrupt you. Raphael, do you see the chat? Because right now we're doing a vote. Okay, so now's the time to vote.
No,
I mean,
wanna
I
say about-
agree, we should say thank you to the council member, but now we are doing a vote.
No, I want to say about McDonald Park. Thank you very much. After
Raphael, I'm sorry. We're not
Good.
doing that right
That's
now. We're voting, okay? We're voting and we have to use this time to vote. So I muted you. Can you please find the chat, click on the link and vote? Okay, the council member is here. Maybe we have an opportunity later to ask her another question. And I'm sorry, Councilmember Schulman, for not allowing this question right now, but I hope you understand we're just trying to get through the vote.
Okay, Alexis.
So,
Alexis, I'm going to just jump in for a second. I have the chat. I have your information. I clicked on it. It turned blue. And I don't know, I'm not getting any kind of.
You're not getting any what? So it shouldn't turn blue. It is blue. You click on it and it opens a another web page that should be a form.
I voted.
There's a blue link.
I done. I voted, so I'm done.
Okay, everyone that voted, just keep yourself on mute. I'm sorry to have you just stay on mute right now, please. Jean?
Yep,
tell us where you are in the process. Why don't you take the link, copy it into a browser, and then it'll take you to the form, okay? And just keep us updated. Did that work?
Yeah, no, because I'm not getting anything.
Privately send to Christine her votes.
Not my preference. We did a training so that we could all do it the same way.
Yeah.
But and Jean was in the training, so it's
yeah.
Jean, you copied it?
Yeah, I copied it, I clicked on it, and everything is just blue. Nothing changed.
I don't know what you mean blue, but did you copy the words of the link?
Yes, I copied it. I clicked on it.
And you moved
and
it, you copy and pasted it into a new window? Into a web browser.
Alexa, I wonder if it's opening in a new window and she's not seeing the new window. Like maybe when she clicks on it, it's opening, but she's not seeing the web browser that, you know, the window that's opening.
Go to your website. Yeah. Go to the web browser. Good idea.
Alexa, if I can also say something, I'm now speaking from my phone. If your Wi-Fi is giving you issues, it's crashing after you try to open it. So now I actually had to restart my computer because it crashed. I voted successfully, but it's crashing. Just to let you know, there are technical issues with this.
Okay, thank you for letting us know.
Your connection, Martha.
No, I'm now using my phone because I'm trying to restart my computer.
I don't think it's the link.
So, okay, Jean, how
Yep.
you doing?
No,
Okay, so I guess with everyone's permission, can we email Jean the link? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
So
By email.
okay, so let's email it to Raphael and Jean. Christine, are you able to do that? Thank you so much. Who wants to hear a joke?
Yes, jokes, please.
I'd like to hear a joke, especially from the mouth
These are
of
7
babes.
and a half year old jokes. I asked my son, I said, give me some jokes, and he just came out with these. I mean, he didn't write them, but he just knows them. These are his jokes. They're awesome. Why did the chicken cross the playground?
Why did
To
the
get to
chicken?
the other slide.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
I have 2
Alexa, wait
Yes.
one
So,
second. It's
are we
Christine.
calling these mom jokes? Are these
So-
still dad jokes, or are they now called mom jokes?
These
The
are
kid jokes. Kid
Oh,
jokes.
kid jokes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
What
if
was that,
Jean
Christine?
and Raphael can now go into their email, I sent the link. You should be able
Great.
to click it in your email.
I
Thank
just
you,
clicked on
Christine.
it.
So, Jean, you can't click on it?
I just clicked on it, so I'm
Oh,
waiting for it
okay,
to come up. It's
Okay, and
here. I got
Raphael?
it. Thank you.
Great, fabulous. Raphael, you're up. You got it. You should click on your link in your email as well. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
There.
Who's there?
Gorilla.
Gorilla who?
Gorilla who?
Eat another hot dog, will ya?
What? Girl, what?
Gorilla me another hot dog.
Gorilla meal.
And this is the final one.
I get it. That's good. That's okay.
Why did the car cough?
Why did it cough?
It was car sick.
I like it.
Make
In
it
my
stop.
last moments of
Make it stop.
the room, I'm going to use that to tell my child's jokes. So, do we have everyone's votes, Christine?
I didn't get anything from Jean or Raphael. Jean, did you submit? Did you press submit when you finished?
Jean, did you press submit?
I will. I'm coming down. Hold on. It keeps going out and coming back. So hold on.
Raphael, were you able to vote, Raphael? I don't hear back from him. Well,
Okay.
we'll give it another 2
Hold on.
minutes.
We're getting there. All right. I think we got it. What is it asking? for
Okay,
now?
great. And Raphael, we'll give you another minute to vote. And if Raphael, are you able to see the link in your email? I don't hear you. I see you're unmuted and I see you're using like some of the reactions, but I don't hear you or see you. So I'm not sure what you're trying to indicate there. Okay.
Okay, let's see if
I didn't get Jean either.
Yeah, it should be coming through. It should be coming
Okay.
through.
Oh, now I got it, Jean.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. So we'll just compute, do the calculations and, Raphael, I see him, but I don't, I'm not sure what's going on. But thank you everyone else for bearing with,
All right, Alexa, I have the results when you're ready to call them. When you're ready, when it's okay for me to call it. No.
yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay, so for chair, winner was Heather Demetriadis. And for Secretary of Administration, it's Tanya Paget.
Great.
Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations, Heather and Tanya.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Heather and
Thank you,
Tanya.
everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And also thank you to the nominees, and thank you for putting yourself out there. We're really appreciative of that, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's to come on this board, and I'm excited to do it under the leadership of Chair Heather Dimitriadis. So with that, I mean, Heather and I'm sure we'll have conversations to make it a smooth transition, and we've worked together on the executive committee before, and I know that we work well together, and I will keep her kind of get her up to speed about the you know, the issues going on the board, not issues, but tasks. So I really look forward to it. And so congratulations, Heather. So you are the chair. And with that, I'll hand over the chairship to you. And you know, I'm here to support you if you need throughout this meeting and of course moving forward. But with that, the floor is yours.
Alexa, before we do that, I just want to, I stayed on so that I can congratulate the winners. Congratulations, Heather, and everyone else who on the board. And I look forward to working with you. I'm going to leave. My staff is still here, and I look forward to seeing you all. Please stay safe. Thank you. Bye.
Take care, Councilwoman.
Take care, Lynn.
Madam Schulman.
Bye, friends.
Good luck.
And Heather, just I'm gonna make you co-host, so that you just go to the top of the screen a little bit, because I think, yeah. But go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you all so very, very much for your confidence, and I look forward to serving this board as to the best of my abilities and as to the best I can learn from all of you. Just to thank Alexa and the outgoing executive board for all of their hard work. There has been some real foundational work that's gone on the past year, specifically with the bylaws, that has just been outstanding. And so, Alexa, thank you so much. As with so much, we women stand on each other's shoulders, and I'm ever so grateful. And Jean, thank you so much for being on this board and for teaching me everything that you've taught me, even as we worked on PB together. So thank you so much for all of that and for all of your support. I want to keep moving along tonight because this is a great agenda. It doesn't look like we're going to have a marathon meeting, so let's just keep this show moving on. The next is the Consumer Affairs, Economic Development, and Small Business Community Report. Elizabeth Newton, I believe this is your part of the show.
Okay, thank you, Heather, and congratulations,
You're
Heather, again. And I just want to say to Alexa very quickly, I really appreciate your leadership and where you have brought this community board, and you will be missed as chair. So thank you. So unfortunately, we don't have any, and I say unfortunately because I look forward to going out and seeing where new locations are for restaurants and bars, but we don't have any new applications. We do have 3 renewal applications, and I'm going to go through the first one. The first one we all know, it's Tandor and Company, located at 9524 Queens Boulevard in Rego Park. They have applied to renew their application. Based on the information that I've received, there have been no complaints whatsoever from 112 precinct. The second renewal is AC Ducey's, located at 10117 Metropolitan Avenue in Forest Hills. They renewed their license. They are located, or I said the address, no adverse or negative information about AC Ducey's from 112 precinct. And finally, it's not in the application, but the trade name is Oceanic Oil, which is located in Rego Park. I think we've all seen it. I mean, I've seen it a number of times. I've had a desire to go into the restaurant because it looks like they specialize in seafood. And they're on the south side of Queens Boulevard, a side of Queens Boulevard in Rego Park where the Chase Bank is. So they also renewed their application. And again, no negative complaints from 112 at 112 precinct. And the the committee, through a quorum, voted yes to all 3 applications to approve their renewal application. So thank you guys very much. And hopefully in February, we'll have some new restaurants that I can tell you guys about. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you. Since these are renewals tonight and they are not new licenses, if we could all just take a moment to unmute ourselves, and we're just going to do a voice vote. So all in favor will say aye, all opposed will say no. Let's do all in favor first. All in favor?
Aye.
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 One opposed. Okay, no one opposed. Okay, very good. Moving right along to the Aging Social Services Disabilities Committee report. Ralph, I believe that is you this evening. Am I right?
No, I think it was Mark, but
Yep, that's right.
sorry.
Ralph? Ralph? Are you going to do the report? You want me to do it?
I thought you were going to do it, Mark. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll do it. Okay. So the Aging Social Service Disability Committee met on Monday, January 10th. Everyone will be receiving an announcement about a unique program we've developed in partnership with CB6's Education, Library, and Youth Committee, CB9's Youth Committee, Common Point Queens, and Queens Community House. We'll be having an intergenerational panel discussion with 3 older members of our community. We'll be interviewing and will be interviewed by 3 younger members, and then the 6 panelists will be answering more general questions. Please save the date for this exciting program, Thursday, January 27th at 6:30 p.m. We also agreed to continue developing our resource manual for older people, informed by the results of our senior survey. Tanya Paget, David Schneer, and Gail Gordon will be working on this. We also agreed to have the senior survey printed out in a hard copy and distributed to local senior centers and libraries as soon as it's safe to do this. Dana Koffer and David Schneer have agreed to enter the data of this survey. The committee then had a very comprehensive discussion about how to increase our attendance at our futurely planned webinars. So Aging Social Services Disability Committee meets the 2nd Monday of every month. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Ralph, for your work on that. And also thank you, Bruce Grossberg, for your work also with Mark and Ralph on the intergenerational program. That's going to be it's great. I'm so excited about it, working with a lot of really stellar community organizations. Moving next on to the Diversity Education and Community Engagement Committee report. Kevin, I'm assuming that's you tonight.
Thank you, Heather. It's actually going to be Martha tonight.
Hi, thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
It's Martha. The date of the meeting for the Diversity Education and Community Engagement was December 14th. Members in attendance was Chair Alexa, Secretary Mark, Co-Chair Kevin, myself, Natalie, Alejandra, and Grace. Public in attendance was Edgar. The GECE committee hosted its inaugural listening session for the public on the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Forest Hills and Rego Park. We did this through a Google form, and we had speakers sign up and registrations. There were 3 responses. However, 1 speaker attended. The committee members in attendance listens to the speaker. The speaker was Edgar, and Edgar spoke on the following. He identified as Latino. He just moved to Forest Hills from Astoria in May 2021. And he wants to know what is being done by CB6 to increase the number of Black and Latino families in the neighborhood. CB6 is 50% white, 30% Caucasian, Asian, and it's 80% total according to the Furman Center statistics. There is a website that I can post later. Grace volunteered to read a poem, but unfortunately ran into technical issues. The co-chairs will work together to include this reading for the next listening session. The organizations and departments consulted was Alexa Weissman, CB6 Chair, Frank Lucio, District Manager. The format was virtual. using the WebEx platform with live stream to the community board's YouTube page. Recommendations going forward, we recommend to continue the listening sections in 2022. Other comments, Alejandra followed up and she said that she wanted to convey that she appreciates where the meeting is going and she appreciates the efforts that we went to plan it. She believes the listening session model has a lot of promise as a way to get people engaged. And as of today, we've just come up with a date, which we will release shortly for the second listening session for this committee. Thank you.
Martha, thank you so much. Appreciate your work and dedication to this really important work. Okay, next up is public transportation and the committee report. Peter or Alejandra, who's giving that report this evening? Peter,
Yeah,
thank
I have it. Yeah, thank you very much, Heather, and congratulations on being elected chair. Very excited, though it's bittersweet. My thanks to Alexa, who has been an outstanding chair these last couple years. Really appreciate all that you've done. So our transportation meeting was held back on December 16th. The purpose of that meeting really was for us to kind of start working on a list of concerns and issues that would shape our meetings in the future. I'm not going to go through every single item that we talked about, but some of the highlights. We formed an accessoride subcommittee in conjunction with the Aging, Disability and Social Services Committee. We got several people that have joined that. And for those of you who have indicated by email that you're interested in working on it, I'll be reaching out. And we're going to get to work on identifying ways that we might be able to work with our partners in government to find real solutions to the growing list of problems with the accessoride system. It's not just that it doesn't work, it's that in instances it's dangerous, even dehumanizing. And so a lot of work needs to be done, and frankly, it really needs to be done on a legislative level. And so that subcommittee is going to try and come up with constructive ideas that we can share with government partners in the hopes of finding solutions. We also discussed a list of specific traffic issues. A lot of these were in areas like 108th Street or the interchange of Yellowstone and Austin that have been issues that we've had to visit before. We'll share these with Frank in the office to pass on to DOT. We also asked another huge issue that we've always been highlighting is Union Turnpike. We're hoping to get DOT to do a proper safety study of that street, as it often functions as a highway that cuts right through a residential area alongside a park. And so we continue to highlight as that one of our key areas. Also, we're keeping an eye out because we're expecting in the spring that the Queens Bus Network redesign, if you remember that from 2 years ago, that's coming back. Apparently, MTA has a brand new from scratch draft plan. Hasn't been shared yet, so keep an eye out for that. We're definitely going to dedicate one or more meetings to that and hopefully also participate with MTA to get public feedback on that plan. Also, the DOT has asked, they have a plan for neighborhood loading zones, right? So we've all seen the Amazon and UPS and other delivery vans double parked, making it difficult to get up and down our streets. What DOT would like to do is create loading zones against the curb on certain blocks around the neighborhood so that these vans can park there and keep the lanes open. So I asked the committee, but I'll open it to everybody. If you could please email in if you know of an area where this is a particular problem that could benefit from a loading zone on that block, email us the specific location. Give us the nearest address if you can, and we'll share those with DOT. And we're looking at a few other interesting things. There's secure bicycle storage so that people can use their bikes to go to the LIRR. There's a lot of bike racks, but it's still some people are hesitant to use that space because of the risk that their bike will be stolen. There's a new design out there from a company called Unipod that creates bike lockers that you can actually lock your bike into. So we're going to see if they're interested in presenting to us. And then at our next meeting, which is next week, the 20th of January, 7 o'clock, we're going to be listening from a company called Ride Circuit. They operate a fleet of all electric shuttles. They're what known as neighborhood electric vehicles. So these are electric vehicles that can't go more than 35 miles an hour that offer a shuttle service that operate in a discrete area, say here in CB6, to help connect people to transit, to shopping, to their doctor's office. So either increasing the mobility of people that don't own cars, or enabling people to have a reasonable way of leaving their cars at home while they go about their local errands, hopefully helping with parking and helping with congestion issues. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of a solution they offer as our community continues to grow. And the last thing is just to keep an eye open. You may have seen in the papers, there's a new group called the Burn Street Alliance. They've been working, speaking with local electeds and the Long Island Railroad. There's going to be changes coming to the Long Island Railroad station. They're going to be upgrading it. Grace Ming's office has found funding for elevator. They're going to be extending the platforms. So we're going to be keeping an eye on those developments as they happen as well. And that's our report.
Thank you, and Alejandra, thank you both for the work you're doing on that committee. It's really important, and I have to emphasize that with the Queens Plus redesign, I would really hope that everyone on this board will at least tune in, take a look, and render their opinion, because it's a very big, impactful project that kind of got folded up with COVID, as with so much did. Next we're getting to the good and welfare of the CB6 district. Alexa, this is where we can kind of try to co-chair this piece, because you have the list of legislative representatives typically. I wouldn't have had that to prepare, so I'm going to need for you to help me there. But first come the board members. So does anybody have anything to share first? If you could just use the raise hand feature. I see Mark. Mark, your hand is up. Mark,
yes, my hand is up. Yeah, I just want to make a quick announcement about the Forest Hills Green Team. Forest Hills Green Team has transitioned our composting recently to the recently reopened Grow NYC composting site in Farmers Market. Basically, Forest Hills Green Team had started a composting site in McDonald Park. We did it to kind of like fill as an interim until Grow NYC would reopen their composting site. They did. So now we basically going to be transitioning and encouraging people to bring their compost and food scraps to the old site on Austin Street. And the next meeting of the Forest Hills Green Team is going to be this Monday. If anybody's interested in learning more about our activities, you can email us at fhgtinc@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Heidi? Heidi, I see your hand. I don't hear you, though.
Our meeting, it is on Zoom. If anyone is interested to attend, it's yahoo.com. Thank you, and I hope to see you then.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Edwin Wong.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to the new e-board. Look forward to your leadership. Thank you, Alexa, for everything you've done, and look forward to you continue to be on the board. I have a quick announcement for the Forest Hills Asian Association. We are having our annual State of Forest Hills Civic Community, looking forward to 2022, on Monday, January 24th at 7 p.m. It is going to be a virtual event. And for those who are not familiar with the event, it's an annual event that we organize where we include about over a dozen local civic organizations, and they come and they speak about their organization and what they do, what they plan to do for the year. It's a great opportunity to get involved and engage in these community organizations. It's also an opportunity for these organizations to partner, which has happened where we've had participating organizations, partner for events. And CB6 is always invited, and I think usually also participate. I know Frank and Alexa came the last in-person event we had, and Heather, Alexa, Frank, you're all welcome, and the rest of the board, you're welcome as well to come. And And Heather, as the new president, you can speak if you like. And other organizations that come and attend, include the 112th Precinct Community Council. Heidi, attends. We invite the American Legion, Forest Hills Chamber, Forest Hills Green Team, many members who are actually on the board. So we thank you guys all for your support when you guys come. So again, that's on Monday, January 24th, 7 p.m. And I'll send a link, I guess, or information to Christina in the office, and then she can circulate. Thank you. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year too. Thank you, Edwin, Mark, and Heidi, for all the work that you do for this community outside of your roles on this community board. We really appreciate that a lot. Last call for any good and welfare from the community board members. I'm scrolling through the list. I see any raised hands.
I do.
Oh, okay, Howard. Good evening.
Congratulations. I will work with you. If you need any help, I'm available if you need me.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome very much.
You're welcome.
I have something.
Yes.
So last night I came home from shopping, and during that, when I got home, apparently there was a pretty bad, I don't know if it was a scooter or a motorcycle accident on Mant Street. When I saw an ambulance and I saw the police officer on the other side of the street, but on the other side of the street from the police officer was the bike in complete darkness, just the heat in the corner. There was no flares around it, there was nothing, and I saw at least 3 different cars almost hit that decrepit motorcycle, and the cop just sat there in the car. I don't know if I don't know if there was some policy that wasn't being followed about putting flares around a accident at night. But there were several people that almost hit that bike, and the police officer just sat there and watched.
Thank you for that feedback. I know that there are portions of that particular part back there at Nansen, where it does get very dark and shadowy. I can understand where flares would be standard and helpful. I will talk with Frank tomorrow, and we'll see how to proceed best with this. Appreciate the feedback, and we'll loop back with you, in the next couple of days to just let you know what we were able to do in response. Thank you for bringing that to, and my understanding was it was a scooter, unfortunately. Thank you. Anybody else?
It was hard to tell. It was pretty beat up.
Yeah. The report that I saw online was that it was a scooter, so I don't know. I just know what I read, unfortunately.
Does anyone know if the rider is okay?
I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Stephen?
By the time I got there, the ambulance had it was already leaving, so I didn't see anyone. I didn't see any, how do I put this lightly? I didn't see any markings of a person anywhere.
Got it.
So I'm assuming that, it wasn't that bad, but the bike was definitely pretty rough.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate this. Great. Anybody else for good and welfare before we turn to?
Heather, can you hear me now? Heather,
Jean, I hear you. I hear you, Jean.
Thank you. Congratulations. I know you'll do
Thank you,
good
Jean.
work because you've been excellent all year long, especially with PB. We're still going to fight for it. Just want to remind everybody, we have city parks out there. Please go enjoy the parks. The recreation areas are open. There's a lot of scheduling that will be coming out. I hope you still hear me. And if you have any complaints, like Howie gave us a complaint and we did follow up on it. I thank you for that, Howie.
You're welcome.
And anybody else who wants to make positive remarks about the local area, please let us know. If not, then we can't do anything. We don't know. So happy New Year's to everybody and congratulations to the winners.
And this is where I say Forest Park is the most beautiful place in New York City. That is unabashed fact.
At our park.
Miriam, do you have anything? I thought I saw a hand.
Muted.
I can't hear you, Miriam. You're muted. Let me see.
I just sent her a request to unmute, Heather.
Yeah, I did as well.
Just so you know, Miriam was having a problem with her audio on her computer earlier. I tried to help her unmute, but it's some kind of setting in her computer that won't allow her to speak. So
she's unmuted now.
Miriam, speak up. Oh, Miriam. I see your lips moving, but I don't hear a single sound. Still cannot hear you. I am so sorry. Is it possible for you to, can you gain access to the chat, to type it into the chat and then I can read it for you? If that's possible. In the meantime, you're going to try. I think I read your lips and you said you're going to try. Okay, hot dog. All right, so we're going to move on while Miriam's typing that into the chat. Alexa, I'm going to turn this part over to you for the legislative representatives. If you don't mind, that would be great.
With pleasure, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have the order of the people that have signed up as elected official representatives. We have Michael Carlier from Assemblymember Hevesys. I think Fascia was going to be here, but she might have left with the council member. Jordan from Congressmember Grace Mangs, and Perito Rosero from Queensborough President Richard's office. Sean from Senator Adabo's office, I don't believe he's here anymore, and then James from the controller's office, and Maria Bolanos is here in case anyone has questions. She's here from the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs. So that's the order. So we'll start with Michael from Assemblymember Hevesys' office.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So first off, from the Assemblyman, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Hope everyone had a happy and healthy holiday season. Congratulations to the new elected board. Just looking forward to continuing that great working relationship between CB6 and our office. So with the new year comes a new legislative session, and our office is happy to announce that Governor Hochul has signed legislation from our office banning the arrest of children younger than 12, except in cases of homicide. As the legislation is now, it's scheduled to go in effect next year, but the previous law did allow children as young as 7 to be arrested and processed through the criminal justice system. Under this new law, they would be deferred to mental and behavioral health services. So we greatly thank the governor for passing this legislation, as well as thanking all the advocates that have worked with us throughout this legislative journey, and especially to our Senate partner, Senator Jamal Bailey. The Assemblyman did want to emphasize that no traumatized child, especially as young as 7 years of age, should have to endure the added trauma within the criminal court system where adverse childhood experiences lead to worse outcomes. So we're greatly pleased with this result. Happy to hit the ground running this legislative session, and we look forward to providing further updates as this legislative session continues. More locally, the Assemblyman has secured additional rapid tests and PPE, more specifically the N95 masks, which are scientifically proven to be more effective than the traditional surgical masks. So we do have several distributions scheduled. The next one being this Sunday, the 13th at 8 a.m. at the Kew Gardens LIRR station. We also have one the 16th at 10
Michael, half a minute.
At the Forest Hills Green Market. We also have one on the 19th, 6 p.m. at the 63rd Drive MTA station. And we have 2 distributions on the 22nd one at 10 a.m. at Ascan Avenue and Austin Street, and one at 12 p.m. in Glendale at 7410 88th Street. We would in particular like to thank the Forest Hills Asian Association for partnering with us on the distribution for the 16th, and the Color of Justice for our distribution on Ascan and Austin on the 22nd.
Okay, Michael. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, folks.
You want to wrap it?
Yes. Just real briefly, if you can't make any of these distributions, you can also call our office to schedule a pickup. You can call us at 718-263-5595. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. And I'm just going to see if Kevin, earlier, no. Okay, so I think in the chat, the Kevin from Councilmember Schulman's team dropped his information in there, and Fascia was here earlier, but is not here at this point. So Jordan Goldis from Congressmember Grace Mang's office. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you for your service and for your leadership on the board. Congratulations, Heather, and the board. I look forward to continuing to work with everybody. Hope everybody had a great New Year. Just going to take about 60 seconds to run through a couple of updates that the Congresswoman has been working on. She joined President Biden at the White House recently for the signing of the federal infrastructure bill, and she's called publicly for funding to be directed to Queens. The elevators at the Forest Hills Long Island Railroad Station, which Peter mentioned, as well as ensuring that subway stops are ADA accessible, continues to be among our top priorities for funding from the bill. She is also continuing to urge the Senate to pass the Build Back Better Act, which she helped pass in the House recently as well. On COVID-19, she's been pushing for more testing sites and testing kits. She recently sent 2 letters to the president about this. We also recently helped secure some testing sites around our district, including in Forest Hills, the one at Our Lady Queen of Martyrs Academy, and she also supported the McDonald Park site as well. Her COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, which the president signed into law back in the springtime, is in the process of being fully implemented by the Justice Department. We continue to push for increased funding for internet access for students and schools on top of the billions we already secured recently. We also just introduced a bill that would allow the SNAP program to cover hot food and prepared foods. And the Congresswoman marked the anniversary of January 6th last week and continued to express her support for the work of the January 6th committee. As you probably know, she was barricaded in a room off the House floor during the riots as the mob marched right outside her door. We've also heard from some constituents who sustained damage from Hurricane Ida that they have been receiving low payouts from FEMA. So we've asked the agency to explain why this is occurring. We'll keep you updated on that. And there's also a 60-day period for late applications if extenuating circumstances prevented people from applying before the January 4th deadline. That's my list at the moment. Always feel free to reach out. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you.
Jordan.
I have a question for Jordan.
Sure.
This is Mark. Yeah, Jordan. I was on a call today with like 800 advocates. Senator Schumer was on the call, and basically we were told that that the Senate is now going to try to pass those voting rights bills. So, do you have any further updates about how that's going?
Nothing than what's being reported.
Okay, thank you.
But happy to keep you in the loop on based on what we hear.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and she has voiced her support for increased voting rights. She actually was the original sponsor of legislation to make Election Day a holiday, making voting portable, things like that. A lot of those provisions that are in the current legislation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Jordan. Up next is Ampervito Rosero from Queensborough President Richard's office.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I have just a few announcements. First, I would like to congratulate the new executive committee. Heather, congratulations on being the new chair. And Alexa and the outgoing committee, thank you very much for all the work that you've done throughout your tenure. You've done a great job. I'm new to CB6. Actually, this is my first year. And I can tell you that you have done an amazing job. CB6 is really, I always put CB6 as an example that other community boards should follow. So congratulations on that. I'd just like to say in regards to the applications, they are online, very simple. Please apply, tell your friends. The applications will be open until February the 16th. So please let everyone know that it is available online at queensbp.org. Also, the Borough President will be holding a media roundtable to call for the creation of the New York City Office of COVID Recovery tomorrow, January 13th at 12 p.m. and it will be live streamed at queensbp.org. Also, there is going to be another webinar, and this one is going to be with the New York City Department of the Aging, AARP, and Queens Public Library. And this webinar is in regards to aging in place, growing older at home. And it is also tomorrow, January 13th at 1 p.m. Anyone who would like to join can join so in Zoom. I will put that info on the chat. And there's also the New York Assistance Funds for Eligible and At-Risk Homeowners webinar tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Please RSVP at queensbp.org. And that is all for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Amparito.
The Aging in Place seminar tomorrow is actually also sponsored by CB6.
Okay, sorry about that.
Up next, Sean McCabe from Senator Adavo's office was on, but was having technical difficulties. So that's on WebEx, not on him. He sent a few notes, so I'll read them if that's okay, Heather. Okay, please let everyone know that Senator Adavo wishes them a happy and healthy new year. He has also voted to maintain virtual community meetings until the end of COVID emergency restrictions. As always, if there is ever anything we can do, feel free to contact our office. All the best to everyone. So thank you, Sean. And we have James from the Controller's office. Is he still here?
I don't think he's on anymore,
James,
Alexa.
are you there? So either. And then Maria Bolanos from the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs is here with nothing to report, but if anyone has any questions for her, she's happy to field them. And if you want to do that offline, I'm sure the office can put you in touch with her.
Yes, I did add my information in the chat. I think it's the second comment in the chat. So if anyone has any concerns, questions, or know of any like shelters or senior centers or anywhere that may need N95 masks, hand sanitizers, and stuff like that, please feel free to let me know, and I will personally deliver it to that location.
Alexa, also, it's Christine. James was an attendee, so I just promoted him. He wanted to speak from the Comptroller's office.
Oh, hi everyone.
Go ahead, James.
James Mangeluso here from the Comptroller's office. So I'm still here. That we have a new controller. Brad Lander is our new controller, and he wants to greet everyone with well wishes, and he hopes to collaborate and work with community boards in the city, and he hopes to get to know Community Board 6 and its members and groups better as well. We don't have too many new things to report on since it's only the 7th day of the administration, but we do have the next version of the monthly economic fiscal outlook newsletter. I'll put that in the chat, and that's a continuation of what was happening under Comptroller Stringer. This is the first one under Lander. And we also did recently complete an audit. That was one of the last things under Comptroller Stringer on December 30th. There was an audit of all 14 community boards in Queens on some more technical things like keeping minutes, things like that. So if anyone's interested in that, I can put that in the chat. All the community boards in Queens did fairly well. Check it out if you're interested to look up what happened with CB6 or any others. Other than that, you can continue to reach out to me at 646-689-3999. 6509. I'll put that in the chat. And yeah, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns related to this. Thank you.
Thank you, James. I believe that's your full list, Alexa, correct? Okay, fantastic. All right.
Heather,
Well,
Heather, I'm sorry. I have a
Yeah,
question for Maria. Is it okay
Yes,
if I ask?
Maria, are you still with us? I don't think she's with us any longer. I'm sorry about that. But she did provide her number in the chat. You should be able to get that if you want to follow up. A few things in closing, please. I would encourage you, we've said this several times tonight in regards to applications for community board. Please try to set a goal that in the next couple of weeks to at least encourage one person to join the community board. I will tell you, for me, it took one person persisting over 2 years to ask to get me to join the community board. So please do that. And if you are attending this meeting tonight and you have interest in joining the community board, please fill out that application online and get it in and get it submitted. We would appreciate having you, and we appreciate the interest. And then also in closing tonight, if you have a moment this week and you can, expressing gratitude and thanks is always a good practice. So if there is a particular member of our outgoing executive committee that has, that you've worked with in particular, give them a moment and just give them a big thank you, especially to, when I think of someone like Gail, who has really given us so much of herself for such a long time and has given us some of the best of herself. I think about Gail, and I think about David Schneier, who's been here consistently, who has been a solid advocate, especially for senior issues and making us aware of those concerns. So please, just on some of those outgoing, and to Pramit, who has really helped us streamline the land use process, that questionnaire. We're going to keep that as a gold standard, or as the Pramit Kumar standard for land use as we move forward, because I think we can all agree that it has helped things move along, and it's going to be thrilling to keep folks like Mark and folks like Peter on the executive committee, and I look forward to working with everyone. So with that, hope I haven't left anyone out, but with that, I think it is time for us to bid our evening adieu. So if someone would like to make a motion to adjourn, I would love to hear it.
I second.
Okay, that's David Schneider. And second?
Second.
Hey, second. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you, Howard.
You're
All right, guys,
welcome.
thank you so much. A wonderful
Thank
meeting.
you.
And we'll see you again in 30 days.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Alexa.
See you February
Thank you.
9th, I think.
Take care,
Take care
everyone.
and continue to stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Too.
Bye.